Hey guys, and welcome back to Late Night Frights. It's Vanessa here. For this week's theme, it is Gothic horror films, and I'm going to be reviewing The Uninvited, so let's get into it. The Uninvited is a 2009 film. It's about this girl named Anna. She comes back home from the hospital, returns home to her sister, which is like her best friend. They have a really close bond with each other. She was in a mental hospital. She comes back, and now she is pretty much haunted by a ghost. Recovery is jeopardized because of her stepmother, who's really mean. I wanted to review this movie because in my eyes it's not really that special. And I know, like, why review a movie that's not that special, but I picked this movie because there's not too many Gothic horror films that I enjoy or, you know, are too familiar with, to say the least. And The Uninvited, like I said, the plot is fairly simple. You know, she returns home, there's a ghost, she thinks she's going crazy because she got out of mental home, and I feel like this movie gives me the feels that I've seen it before. Okay, so it's like, it has that ghosty type of feel to it, very dark film, and it's not unique in my eyes at all. So, I mean, it's nothing really special, if I have to say it. So, the actors you have Emily Browning, Ariel Kebbel, which I love Ariel Kebbel. Elizabeth Banks, like the cast for this film, I think they did choose, like, it's fairly well. I didn't really recognize any bad acting, per se. You know, it wasn't even the acting. It wasn't special in my eyes. It really didn't have any cool flares to it. There was a few jump scares which annoyed me. It kind of was creepy and spooky, sort of. This movie didn't scare me at all, and I've recently realized, you know, just horror movies, like, it's harder to scare people nowadays because of all the horror movies that have come out before that, you know, that have already scared people and the audiences. So there's still so much more horror concepts that I would love to see hit the screen and, you know, make movies out of, have, you know, those concepts made into movies, because I feel like I'm so sick of Paranormal Activity movies, or, you know, ghost movies, or, like, spirit movies, like, we get it, and then especially this plot is just so overused. It is, the, like, exorcism type of movies, and, you know, I love The Exorcist, you know, I love that type of movie, and I feel like that was the only exorcism movie that I absolutely was in love with, and, I don't know, maybe it was just because it was, like, with a little girl, and she was, like, 12, I believe. Regan, her name was. It's just, you've seen it so many times, so it's less interesting to you, especially, like, whenever I see a new, you know, horror movie coming out, and it's, like, Paranormal Activity, because, I knew when I saw I Hated the Devil Inside, I really didn't like it. I didn't like the sequel to that movie. I forgot the name. It was, like, again. I also didn't really like other horror movies that came out that are spirit and paranormal based. Paranormal Activity movies, I feel like they're just based around jump scares mostly. Some movies aren't, like, some movies that I do like Deliver Us from Evil, I like that movie. But personally, there are just so many jump scares in certain movies that you just get tired of seeing the jump scares and, like, having a whole movie based upon, you know, by the fact that's going to scare you if it's, like, it's only going to scare you if it's a jump scare. So they can't scare you with the other factors in the film, but it's just on the jump scares, which is the very, like, cheap way out, in my opinion, because if you're going to direct a horror film, you can't just put a bunch of jump scares, you know, randomly throughout the film, and you don't follow through with it. So, jump scares I can handle when there's something that follows through with it that's creepy and intense, but when it's just a jump scare and then it's like the next scene, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? But back to The Uninvited, I feel as if, okay, the acting was good. I feel I liked the characters. The characters were likable. I mean, it's just it's like too similar to enjoy, and I'm not saying I hated this film at all. It's just sometimes you want to see different things. This movie did come out 2009, so I don't remember watching this when it first came out. I don't even know, but I know I watched it, obviously. Would I recommend this? Probably not. Okay, I know I usually recommend most films, but this movie is not a need to watch film at all whatsoever. You can definitely skip this on your list of ghost movies to watch. Opinion on Uninvited, unoriginal. The name sounds pretty creepy. I mean, like, it's like the ghost was uninvited. I can get that. I like the fact that it's based around these two teenage girls and not, like, you know, usual really, like, the whole teenage cast or, like, adults or anything, because these girls are fairly young from what I see. To rate this movie, 1 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. Horror movie, Gothic horror movie reviews this week. And yeah, I'll see you all next Friday. Bye.